listening to Combat Radio with Ethan Dettenmeyer, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Well, time to flip the engine over to good, and most of you know that starting last Saturday and every Saturday, with the exception of December 8th, Combat Radio has a Red Cross-style base camp going up at the corner of 6th and Gladys in downtown Los Angeles, where we will be equipping the homeless, feeding the homeless, supplying the homeless with the means and the items they don't typically have access to, bottled water, things like that. We are going to conduct it with listener volunteers, and we are going to appoint a different celebrity team captain every Saturday. And that effort is something we're hoping to expand. Right around the corner from 6th and Gladys, where we do this, is an entire fabricated neighborhood, an entire boulevard that goes for miles, and it's it's families. It's families there, small children housed in shopping carts, prefabbed with wood, cardboard, tarps. It's not the America that you grew up thinking it was or told that it was in this part of the country. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of hope down there right now. So we're going to hopefully expand our efforts down there to try to feed more people. And actually, as most of you know, in tune with what we're all about, there's a lot of people to thank, because we're moving into one of the more exciting events that we've ever been a privilege to be a part of. December 8th, as most of you know, is Combat Radio's second annual Celebrity Charity Christmas Breakfast for Homeless Children. It is a huge event that would not be possible without the people sitting with me here who got involved in such a generous and almost obscenely generous way to make it work. And those of you that were a part of the event last year know how special it is, and those of you who are associated with the show know how much of the year-long conversation it dominates, and how most of us were really changed from going into the event and coming out of the event on an emotional level. And actually, although we have a star-studded lineup for today's program, the first person I want to introduce is the partner, I would say the first partner we had in this event who got it done. The owner, the man, Captain Generosity, if you will.
Generosity.
Well, let me turn up the mic since the compliments are flying. And that's actually wait, hold on a second. We're getting
here.
Captain.
Yeah.
Gotta love
Hold on. Captain Generosity, Greg Amsler, the owner of Salt Creek Grill, Valencia. With us also is our partner, who is the manager of such acts as Robbie Krieger, The Doors, The Cult, Fuel, Big Country, Tom Vittorino, Vittorino Management.
Yes.
And this year we have a new partner, actually, that we're excited to be working with, a guy that's all class, Derek Mackey of Cool Waters Productions. Derek, how are you? Welcome to the program.
Wonderful. Thank you. How are you, sir?
Good to have you here. Hold on. We got a phone call, and I think I know who this is. So let me just reshuffle the lineup here and see what we got. Hi, you're on with Combat Radio.
Am I, Ethan?
Oh, my gosh.
Is that true?
You are, in fact. And if I'm not mistaken, this is TV's Dean Haglund of X-Files fame.
It is TV's Dean, and I'm here with TV's Phil Lerness. I've never been on TV in my life. That's right. Except with you.
Well, it's a perfect day for you to call, because I could certainly use the goodwill and humor that you two bring. Producer, director, and kind of a big deal, Phil Lerness. These two gentlemen are well known to the program, but more importantly, they're going to be co-hosting a broadcast live from Salt Creek Grill on December 8th.
That's right, isn't it?
Well,
Kind of.
Yeah, Dean will.
I will be there.
Dean will be there. There's a rumor going around that Phil has to step out and sub in for Lifetime Television, which is a nice gig if you can get it. But
code word for pornography.
Pornography. But what's very cool, first of all, I want to say thank you to the two of you who produced the Chill Pack Hollywood Hour, who were kind enough to not only run our video from last year's event, but producer-director Phil Lerness ran up here to the studio and did kind of an exclusive little interview about the cause with us across the street in the coffee shop, no less, and you guys were cool enough to run that on your show, which we know your show's got some pretty good global cachet, and I want to thank you for giving us a little joint collaborative exposure. Thank you for that.
It is our pleasure.
Hey, it was 12 minutes less of a show we had to plan out.
That's all. And you can hear by the quality of our show how much we planned that out.
Actually, your show is quite good, and what's interesting is I always encourage our audience to listen to it, but if you do listen to it, you will actually hear a really well-produced show compared to the chaos you get when people stumble into a studio simultaneously and turn a mic on at Combat Radio and all things.
That's why we called exactly at the top of the hour, just to add to the chaos. So there'd be phones ringing, people stumbling in, all happening at once.
I figured. I was just doing actually a little piece in homage to the passing of a friend's son, and I saw you guys. I saw the number come up, and I said, I desperately, for morale reasons, need to take this call because nothing makes me laugh harder than probably Dean Haglund and Phil Lernis together. It's a dynamic duo of comedy, if you will, people.
In fact, that's what our business card says, oddly enough.
You know what?
Weird.
I thought it said a cynicism for all things human. No, there are new business cards?
Yeah, that's our robot manufacturing cards.
Cynicism for all things human. Hey, let me just take you guys through the room real quick. You're on with Greg Amsler, who owns the Salt Creek Grill, where we will be broadcasting from the event on the 8th. Greg, say hello.
Howdy do. How's everybody?
Excellent, Greg. I remember being there at the with the cheerleaders for the last event.
Super Bowl party.
Super Bowl party. Little
Super
Robbie
Bowl
Krieger.
party.
too.
Yeah,
Robbie.
It's amazing that Greg's there. He's the one to ask this question. Greg, how long will it take us to get from downtown to the Salt Creek Grill?
Maybe 5-10 minutes at the most.
Wow.
That's
Really?
Ethan's answer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
If
with
you
the
find a
rocket car.
wormhole. Yeah.
No. Dean, you're gonna, Dean, your call time's actually early that day, but you are you're my intrepid broadcasting co-host, so you can't stumble in with the, with the kids at 8:30.
Oh, I can't. No, I will be there bright and early whenever I get picked up
We'll
by
get
the
the
limo that
cappuccino
you sent.
machine revved up and ready to
Yes,
go.
we're gonna need it because I'm stumbling in there and it'll still be dark out. It'll be fun. I think the setup's actually very fun with this thing.
And there won't be cheerleaders, but the elves were pretty hot last year.
Yeah.
The elves were pretty
I
odd.
was
Oh, hot elves.
And
Excellent.
I hear Ethan might even be on time this year.
Oh, well.
Hey.
There you go.
No, that
We'll just leave a message in his voicemail.
Yeah. Good luck on that one.
What
Full
the
Metal
hell is
Mailbox
that?
here.
What the hell is
Full
that?
Metal Mailbox.
Ethan on
Really?
time really does equal Christmas coming early.
I want to tell you something though. Real quick before I get to this point, that you're also on with Tom Vittorino, who had a hand in that Super Bowl event with Robbie Krieger because he manages Robbie Krieger at Vittorino Management, and also our friend Derek Mackey at Cool Waters Productions is in house.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
But it's funny. I want to say it's a real mark of professionalism because when I did walk in, and I have two women in my house, which is the real reason I'm late, and I had to get about 12 dozen donuts or something, and that took a while. But when I did get to this event, it was great to see everyone, whether it was the celebrity contingent or the Star Wars guys found a place to bivouac and got changed and were getting their gear out. The celebrities were getting together and kind of figuring out what they were going to do. Greg's staff already had the place wired up. It's like I wasn't even needed. I could have shown up at 9 too and just had breakfast. You guys were all doing it. You're so professional. You guys just knew what to do and were already doing it when I got there.
Well, you missed the half hour before you got there of pure panic when people come in and they go, so where do I go? And I'm like, who are you?
Yeah.
Oh, we're with these guys. Okay. I mean, the good thing about last year, the fun thing about last year, now you look back on it and it was a success and you can laugh about it later, was we were throwing things together and finishing things up the day before. I mean, we had people coming in saying, okay, now we found more of this. We found more of this. We got more donations of food. We got more donations of toys. And where do we put them? I said, I don't know. Let's find a spot.
We did it. You know what was great is Tom took charge as Santa. Tom did the Toys R Us run that last year, and he set up with a couple of Santa's elves.
Well, you can expect me to set up with the elves, of course, but it was a good time, and the neat thing was seeing these kids who probably don't have a lot of good days in a year, but they had such a great day, from the breakfast to all the camaraderie, just a really good vibe. The celebrities that were there, the Star Wars characters that were there, and then seeing them come in to sit on Santa's lap and ask for, Santa asking them what they want and then giving them a gift, and you see some of these kids going, is this okay? When they have the gift in their hand, they're looking at the parents, is this okay?
Well, the gift wasn't expected because we didn't advertise that we were giving gifts, and quality gifts at that. So that was really a surprise to them. I think
pleasure.
The thing was so over the top that they did not know what to get. A lot of these kids, they live in their cars, and the thing is about their big agenda is finding a safe place to sleep at night.
Right.
And what was cool about it, Dean, I'm sorry, I'm going to throw something to you real quick, but what was cool about it is the churches did a big clothing drive for sweaters and jackets to kind of make the kids feel equal. Now, some of the kids come through my daughter's school. And part of that is you cannot turn a silent auction or a raffle into a cash revenue for a homeless shelter if the entire crowd's homeless. So we break it up, but what was great about that is that without prejudice is where kids come together equally. The homeless kids weren't these kids you point at because they're living in their car, and they were all together for the entertainment and the fun, and it kind of eliminated like a little bit of sort of kind of prejudice some people tend to feel. Homelessness is no longer the Reagan era, crazy man being ejected from Camarillo State living in the woods. Homelessness is now families foreclosed on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But Dean, I think personally, you are the perfect broadcast partner for this because.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
I am flattered, but yeah, I think it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, and when I'm next to you, the hilarity comes out.
Well, we also have to thank Derek Mackey, who enlisted us for PopCon Los Angeles, because that was the first time when Derek was had an instrumental part in designing this. I wouldn't say designing it or putting together. You were a key element in this convention. Well, we did a live broadcast from there, and it was just was so effortlessly working with these guys in the Chill Pack Hollywood Hour that we were like. We thought initially, okay, we'll do a couple hours a day and break, but we were there like 12 hours a day, it seemed like, for 3 days, and we were like, man, why don't we do more broadcast events together? This is hilarious.
I know, right?
I know. And then, of course, Dean, being a celebrity from the X-Files, so, he's quick to point out that I was doing so much broadcasting that somebody stole all the shit off my table.
I know. I still haven't got that back. I don't know.
And by shit off his table, do you mean someone stole our extension cord?
Oh! Figure to Ethan, by the way. That was an extension cord that was ours that you still owe us.
I did promise to replace that because for some reason when our crew packed it up, it didn't make it into the case. But I want to say for the record, since you brought it up on the show, I actually bought you a 50-foot extension cord to make it up to you. And Phil Lairda says that's too long. We need a 15-footer. You're going to have to return that one and that's the delay. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a nice bow on this extension cord. And I'm going to walk into this Christmas breakfast, and that's going to be my present to you.
This is why I keep bringing it up, because it's really a present to you, too, because without this extension cord, all the equipment we're bringing is going to be for naught.
That's right, it won't work at all.
Because not a lot of it runs on, 9-volt batteries.
It doesn't run on magic?
No. Well, it does. It does.
It does. Magic,
on the other end.
Magic, genius, and the sweat of my brow.
Exactly.
And an extension cord.
That's right. There's two ends to it. One side's magic, the other side's the extension cord.
So see, now the pressure's on, Ethan, and if you're late again, we're going to know it's because you forgot the
I'm
damn
not
thing
gonna be
and
late.
had to go home to get it.
Actually, my promise... Oh, go ahead, Dean. I'm sorry.
Camping out in front of Home Depot. All-nighter.
My promise is to actually be the first one through the door this year.
You're listening to Combat Radio with Ethan Dettenmeyer, right here on LA Talk Radio.